Hey guys, welcome back to RackTime with Chris and Chris Morgan. We also have Roger Perry with us today, and we're gonna ask a few more questions about his product. We did a video earlier and talking about his product and kind of how he got started and got established. But we got a few questions we want to get the answers to, so it'll help the audience. It'll help you guys. So go ahead, Chris.
So Roger, we have had a lot of how-to questions asked in our comments and stuff on what's the best way to approach on how to supply the deer with your mineral, the block, and the feed.
Okay, well, we'll start with the mineral. My preference is, I believe it's probably the same as Chris's. I like using an old rotten stump.
Yeah.
Usually you clean all the leaves and all the sticks away from it till you get to the bare ground. You can dump some on top and or just around it. Normally I don't use a whole bag, just to let the audience know. Usually I'll start out with sometimes a third of a bag, unless they really start eating it. Then there is times that I will use.
That's a lot of the questions we get asked is do I put the whole bag out? I was like, no, don't do that. Just maybe quarter, maybe half.
Yep.
Just to get it started. And then after a rain, I love going back after rain because they always tend to hit those mineral sites when we got water coming. So then I'll go back and just freshen it up. But my preference is a stump. But you've done it both ways.
Oh yeah.
So you put it on the ground. Tell the audience what you do normally if they eat all the soil.
So just to let the folks know that this is 25-pound bag, so it does go a long ways. But there is times that you want to just make a site in the middle of the woods. I clean all the leaves away. I'll take a mattock, a shovel, dig down about 4 inches, loosen all the topsoil up, and then I'll usually mix it with the dirt, and then usually I'll dump the last little bit on top. One thing that you always hear from a lot of hunters is like, the deer dug a hole, I could park a Volkswagen in, or or something. Yeah. And that's good, but what people need to understand is, obviously the deer is eating that dirt.
Yeah.
So what I've came up with is, if you have you have a lot of areas that don't have great soil, I'll dig me some topsoil, 5-gallon bucket, and actually dump it back in the hole. So when they're eating the mineral, they're also getting some good minerals in the actual soil as well.
Yeah.
I do have a couple guys that just says, I don't have time for that, and they go to Lowe's and buy a couple cheap
bags of topsoil,
and they dump in the holes. So that's how the two ways I like. Another is I have customers that actually take the minerals and actually dust the feed with it. They'll just or dump a little bit in the top of their feeders, just so they know that they're getting all these good minerals.
Yeah.
The block, obviously you can just throw it on the ground. I do have some prototype block holders coming out. Actually, it has a 16-inch earth anchor to screw into the ground. Obviously, we fight bear here. The bear seem to get into everything. I haven't seen the bear actually, I've had bear roll in the mineral, things like that, but I've never had them eat it. The blocks, we probably have half bear that walk away.
Yeah, they'll play with it sometimes just because it looks like a ball, I guess. And, I mean, they really don't lay there and mess with it. They'll kind of play with it a little bit.
Like a big old dog,
Well, I mean, if you ever watch a bunch of small bears, if one comes in, she has 3, and you got a camera there, they're all over the place. But they'll waller with it a little bit, but other than that, they won't try to pack it off. But with that holder, that keeps it stationary, and it don't roll it out of the view of your camera. You still got, you still get good quality pictures of the product you're purchasing if you purchase the holder when you purchase the block. So
yeah, like I said, we have some prototypes, kind of trial and error. I'm going to have now I've came up with a holder to hold the block inside of the actual basket. I do all my products out of metal because obviously the bear, they seem to break everything that's plastic, or your squirrels will eat it sometimes.
Yeah.
I will tell the audience, I've tasted all my products, so.
If it's good enough for deer, it's good enough
That's
for you,
right. So the block smells like candy. The block is very bitter to me, to you, but to a whitetail, you picture a white oak acorn. I've bitten into those and they're bitter. But to a whitetail, they're sweet.
Yeah.
So I have had customers tell me that the deer eat the blocks in 2 days. I haven't had that.
Right.
I've had them, maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think one time I may have a group of deer eat one in 3 days. So when the people ask me, the audience is like, how long do they last? Well, anywhere from 2 days to, possibly 3 weeks.
But what really got me with the holder and the block is, if you can remember back, I was at church is around New Year's, I guess, and I had a cell camera on the block, and it was late in the night, we're having like a night service, and I look at the camera and there's a buck standing there eating on that block, in that block holder, and I you know how we are, the phone keeps going off, and the next few pictures was that buck standing there and his horns were laying beside that block, and I was like, man, I love that block and that block holder. That buck stayed there until his horns fell off his head, and I ran home and got those sheds. Went over there with a light and picked those sheds up from off of that block. That buck standing there eating on that block lost his sheds. But that was my most memorable thing in the beginning about this block. They love them. I mean, they'll lay there and munch on them. They really do like the block. But a lot of questions we get is, I know we get into sweeter feed, and I mean, this has some sweetness in it. And a lot of people use slinger feeders, gravity feeders, but I mean, I think your product's good for all those.
Yep. It'll work in a spinner feeder. You can dump it on the ground, which once again, I won't say the barrel stay out of this, because they usually, when we dump it on the ground, we'll scatter it in, say 20 foot by 20 foot square or something like that. Keep it loose and hopefully frustrate the bear, and he'll move to the neighbors. He'll move over to the neighbor's corn pile.
Yeah, don't put it in a big pile, big heaping pile, because he'll lay there and just eat it. I don't know. I think a bear loves peanuts, and
definitely
got some peanuts in there.
Definitely got some peanuts, a lot of roasted soybeans.
If you're in a place with no bear, like Ohio, I don't think they have a whole lot of bear.
No.
They don't have a bear problem there. I mean, that'd be the product to buy to get it out for the whitetail, because they love it. They absolutely love it.
Now you've got a feeder head on the market for that too, don't you?
Once again, I'm always trying to help the hunter. We always try to think, how can we make things better? Not only in nutrition side, but once again, making everything out of metal. We do have a feeder head available that you attach to a 55-gallon drum. And then you have to obviously purchase a funnel from like American Hunter, Boss Buck or someone like that to drop inside of the drum. I do have a few of those available. I think you can see some pictures on our website or our Facebook page.
Yeah. It's a squirrel normally tend to get in there. If it's plastic, they'll eat them up. And I know I got a feeder hanging here at the house, and I had to the other day. It got kind of climbed out on it and eat the lid off of it. So I had to work on it some. But that metal feeder is way to go. Squirrel can't eat it, the bear can't rip it off. So
you remember back in the day, whenever you was younger, you get a big 4-inch PVC pipe.
Oh yeah.
I want the squirrels eat halfway up it.
I would take a 5-gallon bucket and put a commode flange that you plumb the commode up with. Mount that to the bottom of the bucket, then put a piece of 4-inch pipe with a little snout on the end of it, and I'll make me a feeder. And I tell you, if people like, oh, deer won't eat out of that bucket. Oh yeah, they will. I had some big deer. They would just about tear that bucket off the tree, trying to get the feed out of it. I've always been a feeder. I don't get the time I want to hunt, and I want to use every advantage I can. A lot of people are against that. I mean, I've not always killed big deer on a feeder. I've killed big deer on scrape line. I've killed big deer on trails. I mean, I've killed big deer all over, but I've always gave back to the animal. I've always tried to take care of them through the winter months, especially, man. these deer need this. They get so ran down from the rut and just running all through deer season, running themselves down. They need this product to build back. And,
Yeah, that's what we need to understand is, you know, we got to keep them healthy through the winter
Yeah.
when there's not much available.
yeah,
And the healthier he is come April, you know, the bigger his antlers are going to be when he's eating this, and we're going to have more fawns born and healthier fawns as well.
yeah.
So this is not only good for bucks; it's good for all whitetail,
Yeah, it help
whether
those,
domestic or wild deer. It's good for all.
it help those fawns. It help those mamas carry those fawns and
That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That next fawn that's born could be your next 200 running around in about 4 or 5 years. So we want to give back to the whitetail herd.
Don't be afraid to pass, grow you a couple of bucks.
Yeah. I mean, we're not all about. I mean, there's people out there that's never killed a 130-inch deer.
Meat eaters.
125.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. We're not against that.
I love
We are trophy hunters. We want to kill dominant deer. You know.
I said
in my
post on
opinion,
Facebook, did you see that? It said that we just ain't trophies. We also make like 32 burgers.
Yeah. Oh, I love venison too. I mean, it's awesome. My whole family eats it, but
like you said, when we all first started, we prayed and looked for that 3-inch spike.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey guys, I've killed them. You know, just one horn that was 3 inches long back in the day. So
on rifle season, you know, we'd go and if it was brown, it was down. You know,
I thought you
if
killed
it
a
had
monster, son.
if it had a horn coming up out of his head, we were gonna take it. But you know, I've changed through the years and getting to be a part of leases and stuff. I mean, and that's just what it is, guys. And I know in this area people hate it, and I myself I do, because I used to hunt anywhere and everywhere I wanted to, and times have changed. Properties are being taken up, and I hear it all the time. Man, I hate leases. Well, it's the future. If you're not on a lease anymore, you better find you some public ground to hunt, because you can't just hunt anywhere anymore. But and it's like that everywhere. I mean, it's all over. It's not just this area. But being a part of a lease, you actually kind of get to manage these deer a little bit. Not just anybody can kill them unless you got somebody goes in there and poaches one of them or something.
One thing I
Not just
like about that
anybody
leash you guys is on, because you guys have a map and everybody has to be a certain distance from each other. So you over here in public property, man, I mean, you got somebody short standing you all around. Like you think, oh, Jim Bob, you know, he's 50 yards up this way, he's your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Or you don't know about the other two down here.
Yeah. But that's the advantage of being on a piece of or a lease like that and not hunting public, because you can't tell people to leave. You don't own the land. You can't tell people to move. It's it's not yours.
I ain't on no lease, but it sounds sweet.
But it does help. It does help to manage these deer and kind of give them the chance to get where we want to see them get.
Yeah.
But I guess until next time, you got anything else?
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, if you have questions, comments, please like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think about his product. If you're interested in his product or any of his accessories to go with his product, the stand for the block or the feeder, the gravity feeder, let us know. And
don't be afraid to interact with us. You know, we'll answer your comments.
yeah, we want you guys to be active.
Yep.
So until next time.
RackTime.